everyone. So thanks very much for coming back to my channel today, Warren's Team Talk. Basically, the reason I've come on today is because I wanted to do a video in tribute of Celtic legend Bertie Auld, who I found out yesterday sadly passed away. Yeah, if you talk to any Celtic supporter, they will tell you what a great man he was and what an absolute legend he was of the club. And he was a real man of the people. He really was. He loved interacting with the supporters and the supporters loved him. So he's going to be really, really sadly missed. And it's a really, really sad day for everyone connected with Celtic Football Club. And also, obviously, for his family and friends and anyone who knew him. So I'd just like to pass on my condolences and best wishes to his family and his friends and anyone that knew him. But yeah, so we're going to do a video looking at him and about him as a person, a little bit about him as a person, and about his career as a footballer and everything else. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, so like I said, what we're doing today is I'm going to do a tribute to Bertie Auld, who sadly passed away yesterday. And like I say, he was an absolute legend of Celtic Football Club for his numerous achievements as a player whilst he played for the club, and because of the connection that he had with the club supporters and his passion for Celtic and his love for the club and his passion for the supporters and being a man of the supporters. And it's clear to me that he sees himself as one with the supporters, and he has that strong bond with the supporters. So, and he absolutely loved Celtic Football Club. It was his life. He was always involved with Celtic Football Club. He would regularly appear on Celtic TV, and he was just a true. Many people, hear people saying, "Yeah, he's a man of the people." In this case, it's true. He really was a man of the people, and he was a man of the people in every sense of the word. So he was born on the 23rd of March 1938, and as I say, sadly passed yesterday on the 14th of November 2021. So Bertie, you will never ever walk alone. All the time there are Celtic supporters in this world or in heaven. You will never ever walk alone, sir. You will never walk alone, and the Celtic support will never ever forget you. That's for sure. They love you, and as much as I'm sure that you love the club, well, I know that you love the club. So yeah, he was just a great man. So yeah, please everyone, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Please make sure you put a like on the video, and please make sure that you pass it around. That would be very much appreciated. Now, Bertie Auld, his playing career, he started playing in 1955. He played for Celtic for two periods. Firstly, between 1955 and 1961, when he made 74 appearances and scored 17 goals. And then between 1956 and 57, he went on loan to Dumbarton, where he made 15 appearances and scored 8 goals. And then between 1961 to 1965, he played at Birmingham City, where he made 126 appearances for them and scored 26 goals. And then in 1965, he came back to Celtic whilst they were under the stewardship of Jock Stein. And between 1965 and 1971, he made 102 appearances for the club and scored 36 goals. Then in 1971, he moved on to Hibernian and stayed there for just over 2 years and he made 11 appearances for them and scored 3 goals. And then his international career, he played for the Scottish League 11 on 2 occasions between 1958 and 1965. And then in 1959, he played for the Scottish national team on 3 occasions. So he was born in Maryhill, which is in Glasgow, for those of you who don't know, on the 23rd of March 1938. And he signed for Celtic at the tender age of 17 after being spotted playing for Glasgow club Maryhill Heart. And Bertie tells a really an amazing story about the day that he signed for Celtic. He was stood in the centre circle at Celtic Park with his dad, and Bertie says that his dad said to him, "Well, wait till you see this place, and wait till you hear this support. If you're good, they'll applaud you, and if you are fortunate enough to be a success, they'll never ever forget you." And how true those words were. Yeah, because he was a huge success for the club. And on the 25th of May, 1967, he was part of the legendary Celtic team, which became the first non-Latin team to win the European Cup when they defeated Inter Milan 2-1 in Lisbon's Estadio Nacional to lift the European Cup. That team, in my opinion, is the greatest ever achievement by a British football team. Some will argue with me and talk about Leicester or this and that, but that team, every single player in that team was born within 30 miles of Celtic Park. And for me, this is something that will never, ever happen again. The fact that you're going to get 11 players all born within 30 miles of each other, all playing for the same team and all winning the European Cup or Champions League, whatever you want to call it, all playing together in the same team. It's just insane. You couldn't make it up. And the fact as well that they were the first non-Latin team to win the trophy is another amazing fact. And the fact that they were the first British side as well to win it, it's incredible. It really is. They then nearly won it 3 years later, when they were runners-up in 1970. They also they were 90 minutes away as well from winning the Intercontinental Cup, when they were runners-up in that tournament. And had there been a proper referee in that game who had refereed the game properly under the rules of the game, rather than allowing the opponents that Celtic were up against to brutally hack them and kick them off the pitch, so to speak, then I'm sure they would have won that as well. So at that time, they were probably the greatest club side in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. Some may say that I'm biased, but the facts speak for themselves. They really do. Now, the thing about the reason I'm going on about that European Cup triumph is because Bertie had a large part to play in Celtic winning that cup that day. Because the thing is, as well as him playing the part on that historic day, Bertie also became famous. And this story, I love this story. It's incredible. And this story is incredible for me because it just sums him up. What happened? There's this story that because the players, like, obviously were in the dressing rooms getting ready to come out, and Jock Stein led the team out into the tunnel, and they were waiting there alongside their opponents for the day, Inter Milan. And Inter Milan were all dressed in their famous blue and black stripes, and Celtic was stood there, and Inter Milan, you know, they were consummate professionals, and they all had their suntans and greased back hair and slicked back hair, and they just looked the part, apparently. Now, Billy McNeill tells this story way better than I could ever do, and I put a link in the video for a YouTube clip where he talks about this incident that I'm just about to tell you about, and it's it's amazing. So basically what happens, they're all lined up next to each other, standing in the tunnel, and they're all really nervous, waiting to go out on the pitch. And basically what happens is they're all waiting there, and, you know, you can hear the studs going as the players are like stamping their feet on the ground, waiting to go out. And the tension apparently is palpable. You could cut it with a knife inside the tunnels. I'm sure it was. And then famously, Bertie broke the ice and led his teammates in singing the Celtic song. And they all started singing this song in the tunnel, and apparently it absolutely freaked out the Inter Milan players. So they were thinking, what the hell are we up against? Who are this mob? And apparently it played in their heads, and it played a big part in Celtic being able to defeat Inter Milan, because not only did they beat them, they battered them. If you've got any doubt about this, go and watch a clip of the game, because there was chance after chance after chance. Inter Milan took the lead, and then Celtic hit back and scored 2 goals. And Celtic destroyed them that day. And it wouldn't have been an unfair reflection of the balance of play if Celtic had won that game 4 or 5. But yeah, so apparently Bertie relaxed all the Celtic players and got them really hyped up for the game. But when they were standing in the tunnel, starting to sing the Celtic song, and all the other players joined in as well, and it really threw the Inter Milan players and freaked them out a little bit. So yeah, Bertie Auld, what a hero, what a legend the man was. So, like I say, he was a real man of the people. I've seen footage of him at Billy McNeill's funeral, and they had a thing for him at Celtic Park, and Bertie Auld was walking out and talking with the fans. And I think, I'm sure it was that funeral where I saw footage of him as well, singing the Celtic song to the Celtic supporters as well. I mean, the man is just an absolute legend amongst Celtic supporters. He really is. And please, if you've got any memories or stories about Bertie Auld, please put them in the comment section of the video. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the man and everything. And he will be missed, really. he'll be really, really missed by the Celtic support. He really will. There's no doubt about it. And he was a legend. And almost all Celtic players talk fondly of him. I've heard that John Hartson was getting really emotional today, talking about him, and Chris Sutton, and so many other people as well. And, you know, the man's just, I don't know what else I can say. The man's just an absolute legend. He really is. And he always will be. So, yeah, Bertie, I hope you're up there and you're going to rest in peace. I'm sure you will. And we will never, ever forget you. And you'll always have a special place in our hearts. And we'll always love you, and we'll never, ever forget you. And we'll always be grateful for everything you did for this great club. So all that's really left for me to say is thanks very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'd be really grateful for that. And please make sure you share the video around as well. And yeah, just rest in peace, Bertie. And remember, you'll never, ever walk alone. Take care, Bertie. All the best, and thank you.